Welcome to the Merch Minds podcast, where we discuss everything about the Merch by Amazon business and the print-on-demand industry. Here are your hosts, Glen and Yong.
Welcome, everybody, to the Merch Minds podcast, episode number 30. And a very interesting topic today. Actually, one of the requested topics from our Merch Minds Facebook group. So we'll get into that. My name is Glenn. I have a YouTube channel, Hustler Hacks, and my homie here, Yong.
Yo, homie. I like that.
To drop some knowledge on some merch research today.
Yeah, we're gonna try.
Can't say we'll try, but we'll try to try.
We'll try to try.
Yeah. All right, so we have a lot to get to. Numbers, that, and anything you want to say, Young?
Yeah, before we get into it, like always, we're gonna pay some bills here. And if you guys are just getting started with merch, you know how confusing it may be, especially if you don't have any background with design. If you guys want some really, really good designs, go check out merchcandy.com/merchminds. My boy Travis over there, super cool guy. He's got some pre-made niche researched already for you t-shirts that you can buy. Glenn, you've seen the designs. They're really, really cool.
Yes, sir.
For just $10 each. And if you sign up again by going to merchcandy.com/merchminds, you're gonna get 2 free shirts free. So you already have 2 shirts if you're at the 10 slot. So go check him out. Super cool guy. They do good things over there.
Yes, they do. Travis is cool, and glad we're able to talk about that. And next, I guess, is what, numbers?
Numbers. You want to go first?
News? Do we have news or we have numbers? I think we have numbers.
News. I don't have any news.
Yeah, merch news.
I have some numbers. I have some. I don't have any news.
Okay. Well, you did have some pretty good updates with numbers, because I know we were talking about that, and you were telling me that May has been doing very well for you.
Yes.
You don't mean to brag or boast or anything.
I don't mean to brag or boast, and I know the month is super, super young right now. It's super early.
Today's what, May 4th?
Today's May 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
Oh, that's right. You know, I have a couple of those shirts, and I didn't sell any.
What?
Damn.
Cinco de Mayo shirts tomorrow?
Yes. I've sold a few.
Okay. There we go.
A few. But yeah, I know the month of May is super early right now, but the numbers have been really good. And if numbers continue to do what they're doing, I was telling Glenn that I'm estimated to do about $3,600 in royalty.
Well,
now,
this guy, I know.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
I'm almost positive that the numbers are going to go down. You know, we're just 4 days into May. I'm almost positive that the numbers will go down. But yeah, I mean, it's been doing really good, really, really good.
So you're pretty much saying like the last, well, including today, 4 day, like a 4-day average. What would you say? I guess that would be per day.
4-day average, I'm doing about 17 to 18 shirts a day. Now, if you guys remember from my previous episodes, my average was around 10, 11 a day.
Mm-hmm.
And my royalty for last month was $2,400. So
you kind of went up though, at least to like 14, 15 a day, right? At one point, I remember kind of.
Did I?
There. Yeah, I think you were kind of. Yeah, I mean, I remember the days of the 10 to 12, but I also remember you at least in the last, probably. I know the last part of the month was a little slower, but I think before that, like the first part of April, I think you did go up a little bit to like 13, 15 range.
You know, I'm at my age. I'm really senile. I can't remember a lot of things. So maybe. I mean, I don't know. I would have to go back and listen to the episodes. But as of now, I'm doing about 17 to 18 a day. And yeah, I mean, numbers are looking solid. But we'll see. I mean, like I said, a few of those were Cinco de Mayo shirts. So, I mean, what's going to happen after Cinco de Mayo?
Of course.
And Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I know graduation's coming up. I have some shirts related to graduation, so we'll see.
And what is how many products live? How many submissions per day?
Yes, I have 463 shirts live.
Okay.
My limit is my tier is 1,000. Technically, I should be at 2,000 now.
Okay.
Uh, I'm just waiting for that, I guess. And my daily submission is 15. I'm still only doing 5 per day.
Okay.
Sometimes even none. But hey, I'm just being real, man. Just being honest. So
And
I'm just doing whatever I can.
yeah, exactly. And I think so. Let's see, 17 a day, and that's going by the average and amount of money. I guess your royalties. This is easily over $100 a day, roughly.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's if I did here, hold on. Let me do the calculation for you since we're both in front of our computer and I just opened up my calculator app.
Calculations. These are some big words.
Yes, sir. So if I was to do some calculation between now and let's see. Yeah, so it basically looks like I'm doing about 120, 125 a day. Let's see.
How many? I guess how much would you have to make per day to let go of that sweet job of yours?
Oh man, yeah. No, we talk about my job every now and then, and I've been there for 12 years, and I have a pretty good schedule. I kind of come and go as I please. Um, Man, I would say 10K a day.
What? 10K a day?
Yeah, well, think about it, right? I mean, at least with the job, they pay for my health benefits, and that's
Okay.
expensive.
It is expensive, but
So
continue.
I would have to say 10K a day. I mean, for me to walk away from something like that, I think 10K would be a good solid number for me.
We're talking about freedom, man. About being free.
Hey, I'm free. I can pretty much set my schedule as I like.
Because you've kind of not to I mean, we know your age, but kind of grandfathered into this schedule.
Yo, what kind of
12 years.
I'm kind of offended by that, man. What?
I mean, I was trying to use a pretty, like,
What?
it made sense, like grandfathered in, kind of like how they say, like FBA, you're grandfathered in to sell Nike. I was kind of being very, very good with the wording, grandfathered into this
That,
schedule.
hey, man, that's kind of offensive, man. You don't see me talk about your age like that, man. Nah, no, seriously though. Um, I've been there for 12 years. A lot of the things I can do remotely. So you know, like I said, I mean, for me, it would have to be 10K. I talked about how good of a relationship that I have with my boss, and on a side note, she is back in the office, and gosh, man, every time I see her, man, my heart breaks for her because for those of you guys that don't know, her husband just passed away a couple of weeks ago, very unexpected. He had retired about a year and a half ago, and she's about 3 years out from retirement. They were supposed to be retired together and travel and do all these fun things together, but obviously they cannot do that together anymore because he passed away. Um, but yeah, so every time I see her, man, it just breaks my heart, man. But yeah, but going back to the numbers, it would have to be 10K. I mean, with the health benefits, and Glenn, I've told you where I live. I told you how much I pay rent here where I live.
Mhm.
It's no joke out here. I mean, unless I decide to move to El Paso, I'm gonna pay a premium price here in the Silicon Valley.
Yes, sir. I know.
Yeah. And
All right.
for those of you guys that don't understand just how much expensive Silicon Valley is compared to other places in the country, I would say go on Craigslist. and look up some rental prices. But here, I can tell you right now, for a 1-bedroom duplex, I pay $2,000. That's just for rent. And then with utilities and everything, it probably comes out to about $2,500 total for a 1-bedroom duplex.
Dang.
So if I was making just $5K on merch alone, half of that money is already gone just to rent. So it has to be $10K.
But you said per day. What about $10K per month?
Well, that's how much I'm making them per day. Is about 120 right now.
Yeah.
Did I say I was making? Wait, I'm confused now.
Yeah,
What did I
you were
say?
saying you said $10K per day. I was like, dang, like that's
Oh, did I? Are you serious? Did I say that?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. It's look. My mind's all messed up right now. We're having a we're having a heat wave. It's been out of control here. No, 10K per month. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I said 10K per day.
I think this whole 10K thing is just getting out of control. 10K a day, 10K a month, 10K on the bay, selling on eBay, 10K to meet Gary V, 10K for everything I mean, I don't blame you. Everything's just wild right now with that number.
No,
Yeah.
I meant 10K a month. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I said a day.
Okay.
10K a month. Yeah, I think that's a good solid number for me to walk away from my job.
Okay. All right. I think that's very doable too. So when you get to that point and we see that day where you're like, you know what? I'm free, man. I'm going to be selling on eBay here and there, doing some FBA and then doing some merch and then doing some podcasts. You're just going to be a free man. Well, when that day comes, we'll definitely talk.
When that day comes, you and I will take a trip together somewhere and do a podcast together.
Okay. It'll be like the Yong quitting podcast episode.
Yeah, we'll go somewhere really exotic, like East San Jose somewhere.
East San Jose.
Yeah, very exotic.
Very exotic. That's hilarious. All right. So numbers have also built up, climbed a little bit. I know we did hit a little. I think I lost probably close to like $800 to $1,000 in April. Projecting the numbers in April, I think they really fell from March to April, at least $800 to $1,000.
Oh man, that's a lot.
Yeah, this month they have gone up a lot since that decline, but really that's kind of putting me back to where I was. So that does help me, but I need to get that even further. So estimated royalties, I'm at I usually, well, at least the last couple of days I've been finishing at like $1,300.
Solid.
Yeah, products sold is between like 230 to 250. But yeah, I've been adding in more shirts lately since I got a lot of them taken down from the 90-day thing or 60-day thing. So now I'm really trying to add in more shirts. Live I have 1,924. Submissions per day is 115. I know that's gonna take a while. And 8,000 is still the tier. So I haven't gone up to 10,000 or anything like that. I'd have to show that I'm even able to even get anywhere near 8,000 to get tiered up to 10,000. So that's pretty hilarious. But yeah, the numbers are back to kind of where I was. So now I need to add in more shirts and do something to, grow that amount, because now we're just back to my usual.
Yeah. Hey, so just curious, since I know we talked about this before, is there any way that your wife can help you with the business? So that way, so for instance, like let's say you just do the designs to save you some time, maybe like put them in a Dropbox folder and just say, honey, can you upload these for me later?
Well, the thing is that she's actually putting in like more office hours than I am, because she works almost full time for the family business.
Okay.
So and then now she's starting her own like YouTube channel. So I think that she just
Right.
kind of wants to do her own thing. That just want to be like, oh yeah, you want me to upload shirts? What kind of cut am I gonna get out of this? So I can buy my makeup and I don't know what else. So I think she's just kind of doing her own thing. But I don't know. I enjoy the whole merch thing.
Okay.
And I think that now that I've been able to kind of cut hours from the family business, I can, like the last 2 weeks have been really, really good. I've been going in from 8 to 12 and then from pretty much like 12 to like 5, I'll be doing merch, which is just like research and designing, uploading. So the last, like this week and last week combined, I've been able to add at least like 325 shirts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
so now with this more time, like I really want to focus just more and more on merch.
Okay.
And then the YouTube stuff or whatever, which
Sure.
I can do that too, but I think merch has to be like my main one that I need to focus on, especially in like not working more hours from the office, because now that though like that check is lower now too. So now I need to bring in more money with merch and other things. So it's been good so far, but it's only been like 2 weeks of.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, I can't even imagine. I mean, I know your daily limit is what you said, 115.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can barely even do 5 shirts a day myself. I mean, I just can't imagine having to fill up 115 slots a day. That's just so much. And I think I was talking to Trey, and I think
Mm-hmm.
I think he was saying he's at 120 or something. I don't know. My gosh, it just blows my mind. It's like I said, I can barely even do 5. So
And to do 5 or 115 is a lot of research, a lot of ideas, a lot of trademark checking, all
mhm.
of that, which is what we're going to talk about today, is how we research for ideas. And interesting part is that I think there's some small similarities between me and Yang, but he also does different things, as do I. So that's why I thought it was really awesome that this kind of came up in the group, and now we can talk
Yeah.
about this on how we research ideas. Two totally, I don't know if they're going to be totally different sides. Me and Young haven't even talked about how we do it. I guess individually researching
Yeah,
ideas.
no, this is gonna be on me for
Yeah,
both
so
of us.
I think this is a pretty cool topic and idea to how we research this.
Sure. Yeah. Someone had asked a question in the group because I think it was the last episode or maybe 2 episodes ago where I kind of jokingly said that I do all my research the old school way, right? I just use google.com. I know there's merch research. Nothing against merch research. I'm sure it's a great product. It's a great service, but I haven't used it yet.
Yeah, you were saying that you do things like old school way by candlelight, and I think
By
that's what they
candlelight, man.
that's what they brought up.
Yeah, I'm old school, man. OG,
Old school,
but
retro, vintage.
vintage.
And I think who was that? That was Ben. Ben
Was that Ben?
Widow
Okay.
from the Merch Minds Facebook group. He had asked, to mention how we research our ideas. And the same thing too. If you're in the Merch Minds Facebook group, you have an idea that or something that you want us to talk about, then we can bump it up. I mean, we have ideas that we want to get to future episodes, but if there's something that you request that you really want to hear us talk about that will help you and benefit you, then let us know in the group, or you can
Yeah.
just contact us through through email, and we'll bump that up so we can talk about it. So Ben,
Yeah.
here is your show.
This is all for Ben.
This is all for Ben and no one else.
That's right. Um, you want to start?
Sure, I'll start. I think, all right, so starting off from the very beginning, I want to start with, because it kind of changed over time. When I started off with 25 designs and I started looking to find ideas, this was before merch research, which I kind of do the same thing a little bit based off of that because they kind of put everything in one place.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I started off by just Google search first
Okay.
on what did I look up first? I think I started off with just things that I could kind of relate to. And I guess the sports side of me, I actually started off with different like basketball, football type of, I guess, shirts, which is kind of funny. So I had like I guess funny basketball type of like sayings at first. It's probably why it kind of took a little bit to maybe start getting some ideas like sales going, because it's a very like different niche, but I also didn't have a lot of competition to kind of start off with. So with those kind of like sayings and funny things, I started off with just Google search like funny basketball, like memes,
Hmm.
sayings, quotes, things like that, and saw what came up. I would also research just a general Amazon search, not just like basketball shirts, just basketball things in general and what people were selling. And I did the same thing for football. Once I saw I was just getting like a little traction, I was like, all right, let me start getting into things that like more people could relate to. So I started getting more into like careers, family, um, holidays, things that I think more people could relate to at the time and not just like a specific niche. So now I started going into Etsy. I wanted to see what people were designing, what they were selling. I started going through like stores to see what the reviews were like. How many how many of those shirts were they selling? Because you can go through that on certain t-shirt stores. How many of them were they selling? What kind of reviews on there? Why were people buying these type of shirts when it
Hmm.
came to like career wise? Like if it's a teacher, what was so great about this teacher shirt? Was it like a funny saying? Was it
Sure.
maybe like some type of like icon or something that maybe brought people in? So I started doing that and got really heavy into Etsy. And then I started combining that with like Pinterest. So Pinterest was doing like really, really good to where I was like a little bit lower on Etsy, and then I was going like all in on Pinterest. So Pinterest, I would type in this case, like, okay, well, teacher, like funny teacher quote, funny teacher meme, funny teacher shirt, like all of these like funny. So it had something to do with like funny teacher stuff. Um, so that kind of helped me know what was going on and what people were what they liked. So if it was repinned or it was liked, things like that, it kind of caught my attention. Right, well, people are they have to be somewhat into this. Looking up those things, are they trademarked or not? Are they copyrighted or not? And how am I going to make this design better? How am I going to no, some stuff wasn't even designed. It was just like a funny quote that someone just had on there. So it wasn't even
Just
designed.
text. Just
Yeah, it was
text.
just like a
Yeah.
funny text, things that people do that on Instagram too. Um, so I'm like, okay, well, how can I make this into a shirt? And if it already was a shirt, how can I make the design better? Obviously, if it's trademarked or copyrighted, then I just left it alone, period.
Hmm.
Um, so those are the things that I would do for Pinterest. And then now lately that it seems like I was kind of already going through similar things. I was like, well, okay, well, I kind of did some funny things. I kind of did the career stuff. I kind of did family stuff, Mother's Day, Father's Day things, over time. Then I started to build out like a full niche list. And this was like really going down to like every single detail. So I started off with sports. This is what I'm working on now, like currently, is now breaking down because now I have the capacity to do it at 8,000 to
Sure.
break down each niche instead of just focusing on things that everybody can relate to. Now I can go deep into the niche. So I have like sports. I started off with sports. Okay, well, obviously I've done some basketball ones. I could probably go back. And now I go into like disc games. So what kind of disc games? There's disc golf, there's frisbee, there's disc court. What about air sports, gliding, parachuting, skydiving, paragliding? So now I get to break those down even more. Okay, little aquatic sports. Now swimming is part of that. What else is part of that? Surfing,
So,
canoeing,
so, so,
kayaking, rafting. Like,
so you're basically doing a mind map.
yeah. Now I'm really like
Yeah.
now this isn't even like researching Pinterest, Etsy, all of these. This is just me coming up with a niche list and then breaking down those niches into like sub niches.
Yeah.
And then targeting
So-
those sub niches
so-
before I get to the regular niches.
So it's a mind map, and for those of you guys that don't know what a mind map is, it's just basically like, the best way I can describe it. It's like a family tree. You know, it just breaks down into several brackets. And I mean, it's kind of hard for me to try and explain verbally, but it just it's like you start with one word, and then you break off into like 2 or 3 words, and then you take those words and then break it down even further. So that's pretty much what Glenn is doing.
Yeah, I guess you could probably say if our main bubble is animals, now our next one is gonna be, okay, well, what kind of animals? We have chickens, cows, cats, dogs, giraffes. I mean, all of those.
Sure.
Okay, so now we're gonna break down each of those into another one. So what kind of dogs are there?
Right.
Huskies,
Spaniel,
pugs, retriever, beagle, like all of those. So like, I mean, you could take this extremely far once you really sit down and break those niches down. And I'm pretty much, I know I can do this for a long time to fill up the 8,000. And a lot of these aren't going to be fast sellers instantly. I mean, I don't know how many people are going to be into certain giraffes or frogs, or I don't know. It's just but it's long term, like, because with the capacity of 8,000, now I could build up those individual niches and see what happens with those, instead of in the very beginning it was kind of like, okay, well, what are people into? I need to get this going to tier up. But now I'm just going deep into that. So now I have that. Merch research is kind of what helps me now because I get to see everything all at once. So merchresearch.com, if you want to go to that, and is pretty much using what I had used before, but now it's all like a nice, easy to use website. So in the very beginning, the homepage, show all merch by Amazon listings. I would do that once in a while, but I would just do like an overall Amazon search, because I think there's, other than just, I don't know, I see it kind of weird to just be kind of competing with other merch shirts when I want to get everybody to look at it. Like, I really don't want to just see the merch ones. Like, I want to see all
everything.
Yeah.
Even third-party sellers.
Yeah,
everything.
all third-party sellers, name brand sellers. Like, what are other people doing? Not just the merch ones.
Sure.
So I wouldn't really even, to me, this is just how I research it, of course. I don't even go through the first homepage one. I go through just Amazon.com and just start searching. And our example was our example? Teacher shirt or something. So I want to look at them in general. Back to merch research. Let's see. Let me go through the side to see what I use. Google Images was the first one. So I would still do like a Google image search on there to see. The next one is social media. I really don't do a lot of like Facebook and Twitter personally. Instagram, I would do it a little bit, but that's going through desktop, which is also kind of weird too. I think it's easier and faster to do it through your app. And then Pinterest, which I think Pinterest has a million ideas. Pinterest is highly recommended, and you can just search that easily through merch research. Next one, marketplaces. There's the Amazon one where you can search all of the listings and not just merch. So like on this one, you have like eBay and Etsy. Etsy is very good. I did do Etsy. I'd probably still do Etsy to research. eBay, I'm not really searching a lot of eBay or Wanello. I tried that too. I really didn't see that to be that great. Keywords is totally something different. Trademark search, we already know. What's trending? So Google Trends, I think is good, but a lot of stuff is going to come up that's like trademarked or copyrighted, so it can only help you for like a certain extent. And like, I know like Cinco de Mayo was like trending. Well, it's kind of late in the game for me in that case. Like, if I wanted to make sure now, that's already tomorrow. So a lot of the trend stuff is also good that, hey, maybe I can get more sales coming up soon, which Cinco de Mayo sales have improved in the last 2 weeks on Amazon. They have been selling,
Mm-hmm.
but you kind of have to really look ahead of time, at least like ahead, like a whole month ahead to know what is coming up, which May the 4th and Cinco de Mayo, you have to have already this stuff kind of already marked down. Kind of in your niches is almost like its own separate niche of like holidays or key days to look out for. And then the last one that I did use a lot is just print on demand sites. And um, the site has everything there: Cafe Press, Teespring, Zazzle, T Public, all of that. So Cafe Press and Teespring, I think, are good. I really didn't look at a whole lot of like Redbubble, Sunfrog to get ideas. Zazzle is also good. I did use Zazzle quite a bit over time. I haven't used
Mm-hmm.
it recently. The novelty and graphic tee sites, I do like Human Tees, lookhuman.com. Not
Okay.
only because they have like popular or maybe trending, but I just like overall the style too. They're very like simple, one colored, bold designs that I really like. I just like the way they had a lot of their designs and ideas. And then some of these too, I really don't think are going to help you, like 80stees.com. That's a lot of pop culture, um, you know, popular TV shows and music and media. Like you can't really do any of that stuff anyway.
Sure.
And a lot of these are kind of like that too. So you'd have to go through those. But my favorite was lookhuman.com.
Okay. Okay.
And I think that's pretty much it. As far as going through that, merch research is what I would use. If you're getting into coming up with ideas now, you're kind of lost, I would use that, because pretty much from the very beginning, all of that stuff that I was using to research is now like on one site.
Okay. So I'm actually on the site now, Glenn.
Okay.
Um, what's the difference between the Merch Research Plus and the Merch Research Pro? Do you know?
I do not know.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah, when we have Chris Green on here, then we're gonna have to ask him.
Yeah, we have to ask him. And
I don't know. $29.99, $9.99, and then the free one. I've always just used this free because it had everything all together. But
okay, interesting. Yeah, I've never used this. I mean, I'm primarily just Google. But no, that's real interesting how you do your research. Um, Me personally, I guess I can say it's very similar to what you're doing. I do a mind map myself, but I don't do it too much. Typically, what I do is if I have an idea, for instance, if I want to do a shirt about dogs, right?
mm-hmm.
Let's say I want to do a funny shirt about Chihuahuas.
Uh-huh.
I just Google funny Chihuahua shirts in Google, go under images, and then I'll just kind of browse at all the images. And then if there's anything that stands out, I'll click on it, enlarge the photo, and look at it. And if I like it, I'll be, first I'll start brainstorming like, well, how can I make it different, right? Because we all know we should never copy, right? I mean, you can get inspired from a shirt, but you never want to copy it pixel by pixel. We've talked about that. But I start thinking, well, how can I make it different? How can I make it unique? And then if something something clicks, I'll go ahead and download that photo, open up Illustrator, add that photo into Illustrator. So basically, I don't know if this makes sense to you, Glenn. I'll have Illustrator open, my artboard is there, but then the image is off to the side. So that way I can just kind of go back and forth, look at the image, and kind of do my own unique design. That's pretty much what I'm sorry, go ahead.
You know what happens too is like when you search something like that, and you're like, all right, that's kind of cool, that's kind of clever as far as like this Chihuahua t-shirt. And what happens sometimes too is like, yeah, that's kind of funny, but what if like this word was changed out to make it even funnier or make it better? That not only making the design better, but you're just making the slogan even better, or like the tagline or whatever it is even funnier. So I think that happens, I think also. And then of course, then again, it ends up being, of course, 100% your idea and original idea because you kind of made your own. I mean, it is based off something else, but you're changing words completely.
Exactly, right? Exactly. No, absolutely. There's that term in graphic design, expressive typography. If you guys don't know what it is, I'm not going to get too much into it. Google it, or sign up for my email list. I explain. I go into that. But yeah. So I do that. But I'm kind of like you also in the sense that I do mind mapping. I don't go too far into depth like you do.
Mhm.
I might do like a really basic mind map, but for me, it's just all about, well, what comes up in my head as I'm sitting in front of my computer. I come up with an idea, and I always do I always do a T-shirt search. So for instance, if I want to do a shirt about football T-shirt, and then I do a Google search. Because if you just do football search, you're just gonna get a bunch of
Yeah, yeah.
results, like a picture of a game or something. You always
Yeah.
have to put T-shirt. Um,
And you can
so
also do like football terms or something like to give you also different ideas. Like what are some football terms? Tackle, field goal,
touchdown,
kickoff.
first down, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely,
things like
right.
that. So those can also, like you just said, mind map. Those branch out into another thing. Like
Hmm.
people could use or like any of those type of like terms. How you can make those exciting.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So I mean, just break everything down as much as you can. Um, and then I like you, Glenn. I use you said you don't do too much Instagram,
I don't
correct?
really do a whole lot of Instagram.
Okay, so I do
For
I
sure.
do Instagram. I go on Instagram. I go on Etsy. I go on uh I do go on Pinterest, but that's pretty much it. And to be honest with you, I can't really give you a good reason why I don't use merch research. And just looking at it now, it seems like everything's under one roof. It's just habit.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just habit where I just happen to go on Google.com. But
yeah.
I uh,
It is hard to train an old dog some new tricks.
there you go again with that whole age thing. You hustle or hack you. Okay.
I guess since I didn't talk a lot about Instagram, how do you, I guess, search on Instagram then? You go through popular hashtags or are you going to
Yeah.
go
No.
through
No. The way I do it is I just do hashtag T-shirt, and I just kind of
just
scroll.
t-shirt in general?
Yeah, and
Okay.
if you guys go on there on a daily basis, there's like when I was on there yesterday, there was 14 million hashtags for T-shirt. So if you go on there on a daily basis, you're gonna get fresh new photos all the time,
Yeah.
right? So just get into the habit of going on there like on a daily basis, and you're gonna get fresh new images. And then yeah, if something stands out, if you like something, well, how can I make that better? There was a shirt that I just did last night that I got off Pinterest. I mean, I'm sorry, Instagram. Um, because it was a cool slogan, and I think I made it better.
Uh-huh.
And I was just like, okay, well, cool. So we'll see. I'll report back to you guys in the next few weeks whether it sells or not, but we'll see.
And I think what your first step would be after you find something you like is to go straight to the trademark website because you're gonna waste time
Yeah.
immediately after that if you're like, man, I like this design, this idea, design, or slogan a lot. I'm gonna make
Always
it
check.
better. I'm gonna do all this stuff, and then you're like, oh crap, like it's trademarked. So you're gonna waste a
Hmm.
lot of time if you don't go straight to the trademark
Yeah,
before designing.
and you and I talked about this. I know a lot of people are using Trademarkia, but you and I found out that just because something doesn't show up as being trademarked on Trademarkia, it'll show up being trademarked on the USPTO site.
Yeah, and
So
that's the
I
one
will
that
get
matters.
Yeah, and so I will get into the habit of using USPTO or maybe even both. I mean, because I don't even remember that slogan that you and I looked up. But it was I think on USPTO it was saying that it wasn't trademarked, and then on Trademarkia it was trademarked, or vice versa. But
Yeah,
yeah, so definitely get into the habit of checking. because I remember, there was a few times where it just slipped my mind, and then my shirts got rejected, and then I went back and checked, and I'm like, oh damn it, I forgot to check for the trademark, even if it's a stupid slogan, right? Like,
Even if it's like 2 words, like
yeah, like good morning. I don't know. I'm just using that as an example. I don't know if
yeah,
that's trademarked or not, but something simple and stupid like that, check, because you'll be really surprised.
yeah. What about like Mama Bear? Have you
You
seen
know, I,
Mama Bear a lot?
I've never checked for Mama Bear. I don't know if that's trademarked or not. Is it?
Yeah, it is. But like a Mama Bear, when you think about it, or what about what was another one that you probably wouldn't have thought about? Like I know I didn't, but I remember this from like a long time ago. I think it's Mother of Boys is trademarked. Let me see. Maybe it was Mom of Boys. I don't know. Maybe it was Mother, but something like that. And it was like I was like, what? Like that's like very general, very
Mm,
basic. Like oh, there it is, Mom of Boys.
Mom of Boys.
Yeah,
Huh.
Mom of
Interesting.
Boys. There's a serial number. Let me see. I mean, it doesn't have like a registration number yet, but it has been filed, and it looks like, I mean, sweaters, t-shirts, all of that stuff. January 26, 2017. Mom of Boys.
Yeah,
That's one
and
of those ridiculous ones that I mean, there's no way I would have thought about that being
yeah,
trademarked.
yeah, yeah. But no, definitely get into the habit of. I don't care how silly it sounds. I mean, even if your mind, you're saying, oh, that caption's just so stupid. No one would trademark it. You'd be really surprised. Check everything. And so one thing that I've learned, and again, I always have to put this disclosure, because every time I mention something that I learned in college, people always message me talking about you're wrong. Hey,
Yeah, because it's college.
whatever. Okay, I'm just telling you what I learned. If you disagree, contact my instructor back in. I'll give you his contact information, and you can have that conversation with him.
Oh, I
Um,
will. Just kidding. Go ahead.
no, but one thing that my instructor in college was saying, that if something is trademarked, so for instance, like we said, good morning, right? Let's say it's trademarked,
Yeah.
but it's trademarked for I don't know, like a shampoo product, right?
Hmm.
He said it will work for t-shirts. It's only when it's trademarked for that industry that you're trying to get into.
Yeah.
So if good morning was trademarked under the apparel, that's when you can't use it.
Yeah,
But if
that's
it, but
that's also kind of the tricky parts because you'll see it on the site, like
it tells you, yeah. Sometimes it'll
yeah,
tell you like, oh,
specifically t-shirts.
yeah, this is for beauty products, or this is for, I don't know, computer products. This is for, I don't know, foot products. I'm just making things up. But if it's for our industry, where we're all doing apparel, if it's trademarked in other industries, but it's not trademarked in the apparel industry, we are okay. That's what I
Okay.
was told. That's what I was taught. And I keep saying this, man. One of these days, I'm gonna have to ask Joe, who was my instructor, to just come onto the podcast and give us a quick lecture, like a quick 30-minute lecture on what he taught us in college. Because that was like a 2-3 day lecture. I mean, it was a huge lecture for
Hmm.
that particular course. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, I can get more into detail on how I do my research, but that's just pretty much it. I come up with an idea, go onto Google. Again, if my idea was, I don't know, football, I'll do a Google search for a football T-shirt, and I just kind of browse at the images. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had two, I guess, kind of different ways, but I think a lot of it came down to also was just this mind mapping and ideas kind of like based off of words and topics and niches more than specific t-shirts. It
Hmm.
came a lot from just knowing that stuff.
Hmm.
I think that's what's going to help, like for the long term, not necessarily for the beginners, which me and Yang also talked about before we started, was that we really want to get a show for the beginners that are at a 10 tier, and how to kind of
Yeah.
approach that. Because I do think that is a much different approach to merch compared to somebody that does have more room, let's say of a 500 or 1,000 tier. I think you have more room to work with on different designs and niches.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, because it's when you're at the 10 or even the 25 tier, it's a completely different strategy.
Yeah.
Because when you're at, I mean, obviously the more it's kind of like reselling, right? The more inventory you have, the more you're going to sell.
Yeah.
The more designs you have, the more T-shirts you're going to sell. So when you're
And
at
the more you're gonna learn.
of course, absolutely. And when you're at the 10, 25 tier, your main goal is to sell as much T-shirts as you can, so you can get to the next tier. There's a few things that I've heard, right? I've heard some things where when someone's at the 10 tier, they'll design 10 T-shirts, and price them at the lowest price possible and have their friends or family members buy 10 shirts or something. I've heard
Yeah.
that before.
Mhm.
Um, but I think if you're just getting started, the best way to do it is to really just do shirts on something that's trending, current events, because that's what everyone's talking about at that moment. So you want to take advantage of that and just do a shirt on, I don't know, what's currently trending. The Met Gala that they just had over the weekend. A lot of people are talking about that. I don't know. Do a shirt about Met Gala. Obviously, you can't use those words, but you can definitely somehow uh, twist the words around.
Yeah. I guess the example would be like, well, it's too late probably at this point for like Mother's Day, but that's coming around too. But Father's Day, I mean, you have plenty of time to get ahead.
Yeah,
But
Father's Day. Oh,
um,
that's another thing we didn't mention. Holidays. There's the national holidays, and there's some obscure national holidays that I've never even heard of, like National Strawberry Day, or
yeah, and people buy that stuff too, which is hilarious.
yeah. There's a market for anything these days, really.
National Hustler Day.
National, I won't be, there's a national garage selling day. I know that.
Wow, there we go. We get your
Yeah,
garage sale shirts up.
yeah. No, there really is. I see, you and I coming from the reselling community originally, I see a lot of t-shirts on thrifting, right?
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, there's, if, no idea is silly. I mean, I think there's a market for pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Some niches have a bigger market than others. Like, you know, football is a big, huge market and niche compared to thrifting. We all know, I mean, a lot of people do thrifting, but you'd be surprised as to how many people do it compared to watching football. So,
Yeah. You know what's also kind of funny was that I forgot what was I on that I saw that someone was like getting all riled up for Amazon Prime Day.
when is that?
I think it's in July.
Okay.
That was July last year. But I remember sales were good for that specific day.
I don't remember.
Um,
I don't remember for some reason.
yeah, because you're I mean all the merch shirts are obviously Prime eligible. So I remember that day did do pretty good, especially in the morning. I think I had more sales compared to
Okay.
the other days that week. But that I don't know, it's kind of random. But we were talking about like random days that people look forward to. And that just it just
Yeah.
made me kind of
Yeah.
laugh. I was like, that's still like 2 months away, but people are like, oh man, Prime Day. I'm gonna sell a lot on FBA and merch and I don't know what else. But it is coming. So
hmm
be prepared for
hmm
that.
But just remember this, guys. All the research that you do, whatever niche you want to get into, I've said this 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000 more. Design is always prominent. I've seen some stupid designs out there where I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to say it, man. They suck, right? I mean, even if it's just text based, just understanding what kind of text to use, right? I mean, it's just, gosh, people make computer shirts using some fancy script font or something. It doesn't work, guys. Come on.
Or they use like a Windows 95 clip art or something.
Yeah, it's silly. So design is always prominent, and if you insist on doing your own designs, please, go. teach yourself how to use Illustrator, and watch videos. There's tons of resources out there for free, for paid, whatever, whatever you want to do. And if you want to hire designers, pay a premium price. Don't take advantage of the designers.
Yeah. So I think, well, the 10 design thing, we talked about the 10 tier. That's for another episode. Young already gave you a lot of info though, but the research part for that will be different. And as far as like how you attack that, so that'll be for a different show. This one was just purely about how we do our research. And if you do something different, let us know in the Merch Minds Facebook group. If you do anything different that you think can bring value to anyone else, then let us know in the Facebook group. But that's the way we do it. And that seems to be working in different ways, for each of us. But I'm pretty sure most people have very similar ways of researching.
Sure. Yeah. No, we'd love to hear from you guys and see how you guys do your own research.
And it's happened too, where if you're out doing your own thing, or out there, let's say if you're, I think I've talked about this other times too. This isn't even like research. This is just things you look up while you're there. And if you're thrifting and you go through the t-shirts, you're going to find also t-shirts that have been done before. That's obviously, if it's at Savers, people have worn it and got rid of it for some weird reason, but they did make that initial purchase. So at least you can see that someone actually bought this particular shirt for some weird reason. If it's a funny saying or whatever, thrift stores, while you're there sourcing for eBay or something anyway, look at the t-shirts, take some pictures with your phone, take pictures, look it up later, and you're good. Same thing if you go to Ross or Marshall's, you have those ideas there too. They have them not only on t-shirts, they have them on mugs. They have a lot of different mugs and like pictures and stuff that you can look up there.
Yeah.
What's another one is,
well, just people in general. I mean, people wear silly shirts.
Yeah,
all the
people
time.
wear shirts. If you're at whatever store or restaurant, you'll see crazy random shirts people are wearing too all the time. And the other one I was gonna say was like Tuesday Morning, and what is the other one? Not Michael's, but Hobby Lobby. Like those stores like that, they also have like a bunch of different pictures, signs, things like that to decorate your home. Those always have different like slogans and sayings. So that's just getting ideas while you're out, not even at home doing research.
There's ideas all over the place. I mean, there's ideas that I come up with in my dream. Seriously.
All right, now we're taking this show to a different thing.
I'm not being serious, man. I dream about shirts, and I wake up. Oh my gosh, I gotta jot this down. It's only happened.
About shirts.
It's only happened a couple of times, but thank God it wasn't a wet dream. Oh wait, okay, we're not gonna go there. Okay.
Now this show's coming to an end.
This is a family show. Okay. I forgot. I forgot. I thought this was a private conversation between you and I. I didn't realize we were being recorded. But yeah, no, there's ideas everywhere. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys have any other questions, man, please let us know. I mean, again, we're not experts, but we can kind of tell you and share with you guys what we're doing. I think we're having some success. So yeah.
All right. Good. That was a pretty good show. A lot of info, especially with the researching thing. And researching is the most important thing and the most boring thing.
Yeah, I absolutely hate doing it, but something that needs to be done, obviously. But let's see, a couple of announcements, I guess, before we go. I've mentioned this before. I'm going to be in Atlanta. If you guys are in Atlanta, I'll be there from May 19th to the 23rd. If you guys want to hang out, if you guys want to show me Atlanta, invite me over for dinner. I'm available. Yeah, so that's the first announcement. And then again, guys, we mentioned this on every episode twice. Merch Minds, another way to get t-shirts is to purchase your designs. And as we said earlier in the show, if you guys want, go check out my boy Travis over at Merch Candy. He's gonna take care of you. Really, really cool designs. Uh, it is a subscription-based website, but if you guys go to the site using the URL that I'm gonna provide here in a second, he's gonna give you 2 free designs initially just for signing up. Merchcandy.com/merchminds. Again, Travis is super cool. Great customer service. From what I can understand, every time I see him on Facebook, he's always responding to people's questions and messages. Uh, so if you have any questions, you can reach out to him. But again, merchcandy.com/merchminds. Anything else before we go, Glenn?
I think that's it. I think we're good to go.
Okay. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
All right. We'll see you.